All right, hey guys, welcome back to Melissa Makes It. This is gonna be part 2 of my hundreds tracker, gold tracker thing that, I'm doing for my first 100 YouTube videos, but everyone's got different goals, so whatever you want to use yours for. Gosh, if you remember, we have a ton, we have exactly half of our paper clips, clothespins ready to go. So this part is going to be kind of a little bit more about the presentation, how we're going to get it up on the wall to actually use it. So I think that I'm kind of done with my working space on my little bear blanket here. And I was digging around for how am I going to display, or how am I going to keep my clothespins with my finished tracker before they're ready to go on there, that I used it, or that I did that video. I just have probably spent 30 minutes looking around my house for a way to get them on the wall but not on the ribbon, and I feel so stupid because I saw one of these. I make these little bags too, and I happen to have one that is the perfect color combo that matches what we're doing, and how silly to not use something that I made. So I got this guy out. I'm kind of, ooh, this is fun before I fill it up. This is one of the last bags that I made before I switched over my little tag. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Before I switched over, now it's just my signature on my little tags inside. So that's kind of fun. And it looks like, yes, these are all gonna fit in here. So that is super exciting there. And then while I was looking for that kind of stuff, I also found, this is one of these little trackers that I started a lifetime ago. I got this far before my life went a different direction and I did not finish it. So I thought that might also be kind of fun. This is obviously going to be a much smaller one. I only have a couple of these guys, but I just love how well the distressing turned out on this one. And the paper clips with the silver accents, so pretty. So for this one, I have, oh, she's cute. Where'd it go? Right here. I found this guy that I've already done quite a bit of work on. It has, let's see if you can see it. Yeah. It has, as near as I can tell, an initial sanding pass, a painting it white, a sanding again, a painting of almost clear coat with just a little bit of white added to it, and then another sanding. So this one has 4, maybe 5 passes of work done it already. But she's white and I want her to kind of match what we got going on already. So we're just gonna distress this a little bit more in matching colors. And then this is a bunch of the ribbon that I found. I kind of like the multicolored aspect of what this one's gonna be. So I think this purple ribbon is probably too dark for what we got going on. But I do really like this one. I might cut the bow from the ribbon and put it on the little sign. But I think altogether that these ribbons, I've got a good color combo here. I just pulled anything that I thought looked like it might kind of go with what we're doing out of my big bag of ribbon. Fun fact, I collect satin ribbon. This is from a gift set that I got probably 8 or 9 years ago. Satin ribbon is one of the most versatile, strongest materials there really is. I used to work in a bridal store and we used satin ribbon to lace up the corset tops of wedding gowns. And yeah, no, it's too dark. Satin ribbon just does the job really well, and it's beautiful. It adds just that little bit of luminous quality to anything you're working on. But I think depending on how, well, let's get this top painted, and then I'll show you guys up on the wall how I'm gonna like lay the ribbons out and add the little paper clips as we go. So I've got the 3 initial colors that I used for doing the paper clips, and then I pulled out some 2 nicer ones. I think it'll be okay if it doesn't match 100% because we have so much going on with the ribbons. And we don't need very much because I'm not painting this thing entirely. I'm just adding a little bit of color. Like I said, I already have a bunch of sanding work done on it. Otherwise, we would be sanding right now. So I think it's kind of a bummer that it's got like this black smudge on it because I like the wood grain here on the front. Oh, maybe that's just where we'll paint. That'll be perfect. Yeah, I don't know. I think that phthalo blue is just such a different vibe. Let's just stick with matchy matchy. You guys, this is it. Look at this magical branch. This is the unlock I've been waiting for on my hundreds tracker. I'm gonna take this. Can you see it? I'm gonna break off some of those extra little branches, make them pumpkin stems, and then hang the ribbons from it. This is so cool. Okay, you guys, she's even more beautiful inside than I thought when she was outside in the grass. Look how pretty this branch like goes up. This is gonna like solve all of the problems for our goal tracker. The ribbons are gonna hang down from this, so pretty. So what I need to do is kind of decide which branches are not gonna make it for this project. And like I said, all these little ones, I'm gonna just break off into pumpkin stems. Super exciting. But I wanna make sure I don't get rid of too much of the personality. And I had thought maybe about just leaving all of them on there, but they're all gonna get broken off anyways with try to transport and whatnot. So I can't lament their loss too much. They weren't gonna make it anyways. And plus I want it to lay kind of like flat against the wall. So some of these ones that get too 3D have got to go. I'm kind of just breaking them off where they would naturally break anyways, so that I don't have any, what, like this one. This one didn't turn out very good. I'm gonna sand, well, I'll probably go back and sand a couple of them anyways. No, this is definitely gonna be the bottom hanging down. Let's just go for it. Let's just get rid of this big giant one. All right. And then this guy. You know what? Maybe I'll like put a bird or an owl or something on there. Let's leave it for now because I can always break things off, but I can't get them back on. So let me get this hung up and I'll show you guys the next step of adding the different ribbons. Okay, quick tip for when you're hanging up something. The least amount of like points of contact you can have, the easier it will be to get it level. So like, I mean, ideally if I would have strung this ribbon in one big circle, but I didn't. So I have two. And then you can see up on my two ceiling hooks I have up there, they're not actually tied on there. It is one big circle with the branch. So I can like pull it whichever way I need to, gosh, maybe it won't be level when I'm all said and done. But because it's one string up there in a big circle, all those adjustments are so much more easily made than if I had tied like right here, this knot up to one knot and a second one up to a second one. So keep that in mind when you're hanging stuff up, and let's get some ribbon picked out. Okay, you guys, here's the debacle that was attempt number one. So obviously we're gonna take all these clothespins here, separate those out because they are an absolute success. How I started with the ribbons on the wall though, just not about it. And I do love how our little sign turned out. So cute. I even added just a little bit of paint up on the little hanging cord. So I definitely am gonna reuse some of these ribbons, but I got the rest of like my blue ribbon collection out. So I know that I wanna use, honestly, I think this is the same ribbon as from this roll. This is back from my grandma's bridal store. And I have a hard time, can you see that? I have a hard time actually using it because I think this ribbon company went out of business. And even if they didn't, well, A, if they didn't, someone please let me know. But B, they just don't print things vintage like this anymore. Look, made in the USA ribbon. You guys, can we even find poly satin ribbon made in the USA anymore? No. And I love this like gross green teal ribbon. We're definitely using some of that. Look how pretty it matches. kind of like the vibe of the silver. I don't know if the silver really matches the twine though. The twine has the vibe with the clothespins, so we want to do that for sure. Ooh, this does kind of bring those dusty blue ones in. This is fun ribbon. This was actually the shoelaces from the sandals we wore as bridesmaids in my brother's wedding. Ooh, this one has some nice light tones to it. I feel like this is a good mix of colors and ribbon, so let me get the camera readjusted so that we can start hanging some on our branch. All right, you guys, how flippin' cute is this? This is a little drawstring bag where I will house the clothespins before I clip them on the thing. That way, as I make progress, they are just all right here, home base with the branch. All right, this is a pretty good update point. I've got all the ribbons tied on there, perfectly different, each one just how I want them. Nice mix of colors, nice mix of lengths. When I get it back home, I'm probably going to whip out the iron and press some of these ribbons a little bit. But to get started, I am gonna put the first, yes, look, this is one of the broken ones too. I think this is perfect to symbolize that first YouTube video I got posted of the remake of the black and white flower that I had needle felted like 1,000 years ago. So we got that on there, and at the time of this posting I have 25 videos up, so I'm already a quarter of the way to my goal, but better late than never when it comes to tracking.